CBC just got busted hiding the truth. Now, I'd love to tell you that this latest scandal from the state broadcaster surprises me, but this is the CBC, and I've come to expect nothing less from them. The Information Commissioner of Canada just sided with Rebel News and smacked CBC down hard over their absolutely bogus excuses for hiding information from the public. The commissioner ruled the CBC is illegally blocking a Rebel News access request for internal records. And what was this so dangerous information they didn't want us to see? Their secret backroom dealings with Twitter, back when it was still the censorship social media site stifling normal people and not the free speech platform known as X, where people can speak their minds. That's right, your taxpayer-funded state broadcaster, the same one that guzzles over $1.5 billion a year from hardworking Canadians, tried to keep its cozy censorship conversations with Silicon Valley under wraps. And why? Well, because they claimed that letting us see their messages with Twitter employees could either A, help someone commit a crime, or B, put CBC staff in danger. Give me a break. The Information Commissioner demolished those claims. First, the CBC tried to argue that revealing the name of one of their IT employees would somehow lead to their entire network being hacked. But oops, it turns out that that same employee had already publicly listed their name and job details online. So much for that argument. Then the CBC pulled out the classic online harassment excuse, claiming that naming their journalists in connection to their Twitter dealings would somehow put them in harm's way. But guess what? Many of the very tweets they were hiding were already public. The Information Commissioner pointed out that anyone could piece together much of the information from what CBC had already released. The CBC tried to argue that their journalists would suffer psychological harm from being named, but to her credit, the Information Commissioner wasn't buying it. She ruled that CBC failed to provide any real evidence of harm, but instead just did the vague hand-waving thing about so-called harassment. So why did the CBC fight so hard to keep these records secret? What did they really not want you to see? Well, let's think about the obvious possibilities. Could they have been working with Twitter to censor Canadians on behalf of their paymasters in Justin Trudeau's government? Could they have been pressuring Twitter to silence Rebel News or other independent journalists who are doing the job the CBC refuses to do? Were CBC journalists coordinating censorship with the same Silicon Valley elites who helped manipulate public discourse in the United States and Canada, particularly during COVID? We don't know yet, but thanks to this ruling, we're about to find out. This fight started way back in 2023 when we first filed the access to information request for CBC's communications with Twitter, covering everything since January 1st, 2018. Which just so happens to be the years when Twitter was actively deplatforming and shadow banning dissident voices. Of course, the CBC stonewalled us. They claimed exemptions under safety laws and then, as an afterthought, threw in some excuse about how revealing the information could facilitate a crime. What crime? They wouldn't say, but it might happen in the future. It took a full investigation by the Information Commissioner, over a year of legal wrangling, and months of CBC dragging their feet before the commissioner finally released her decision March 6th, 2025. Now, here's the thing. CBC has to comply. They were given 35 business days to appeal this ruling to federal court, but if they don't, they have to hand over the records by mid-April. We made this happen with your help. Because let's be honest, if it weren't for you, the viewers, none of this would have taken place. This investigation, this appeal, and every single one of our access to information requests were made possible through crowdfunding at rebelinvestigates.com. Unlike the CBC, which enjoys your money through constant government handouts, we rely on real Canadians who care about the truth. You gave us the resources to fight this legal battle, and we won. Now, here's the real question. Will CBC hand over the goods? Stay tuned, because if CBC doesn't comply with this order, they could end up in federal court. And if they do comply, well, something tells me those emails aren't going to make them look very good. But that's just another day at the CBC, hiding, conniving, and covering it all up while you pay the bill. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. This investigation, this appeal, and this win for transparency was made possible by you through your generous donations at rebelinvestigates.com. But we're not done with these people yet. If you'd like to make a donation to all of our access filings, you can do that at that website, rebelinvestigates.com.